11 years. 11 years brings us to this point, to the Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice, Season 11. 11 years, this, one of the biggest esports events in the world, has toured the planet. It has become the most traveled, the most people have seen it. 5 years it's been coming here. 4 years, this, the Spodek, this slightly bizarre but iconic concrete UFO, has held finals. And you know what? It was great last weekend. This weekend, I think, is gonna be bigger. Now we have quarterfinals today, semi-finals and a final tomorrow. Our teams, they are playing off, not just for the lion's share of $250,000, not just to have their names scratched onto the front of this trophy. They are playing for a slice of esports history, because that is what the Intel Extreme Masters have become. 11 years, you look at those names, it is a timeline of where esports has gone to and where it is now. In this, with the most people ever attending an esports event. Over 2 weekends, that is how big it is. So then, let's address the elephant in the room. There is no VP here today. If you're a VP fan, I want to hear you. I want to see your light in the air on your phone. Are you a VP fan? That noise, we want to see channeled into the rest of the weekend. That noise we want to hear. So then, let's get it on. This is the point, let's bring it down. I want silence in here, let's bring it down low. Because last weekend, it was loud. I want to rip the roof off this place now. You're going to be on the camera. So then, the Spodek. Are you ready? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. The atmosphere is electric. Let's get on with the first of our quarterfinals. Please go absolutely crazy for North, taking on the Immortals.
Here they come, the death-defying Brazilians and the courageous Danes who have already come this far. It's a grand stage for a grand game. And Chad, Natu, some of the names on stage, the likes of Henny, the likes of Config Magis, they are making their own history as well as Counter-Strike history today.
Absolutely insane to see these players here on this stage. So Bolts, you know, he's there he is right on screen. He's fallen from SK only to find himself here in a team who is doing better than his previous one. And in front of a large audience. Config, an absolutely insane player for the Danes. He is so explosive, very aggressive, and multi-frags galore. This guy, one of the best players in the world at the moment, I'd have to say.
One of the best players in the world. Natu?
I mean, I would agree. Him and Magic's boy right now make a great duet. I mean, we always used to talk about Device and Dupree being the Danish dynamite, but I think these two rival that pretty well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one for sure. They've definitely been the top 10 players in the world right now, and you know, Thorin himself has said it's rivaled the duo of Forrest and Get Right over the years. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah,
that's a tall order.
There is an eternal battle in Counter-Strike to be the best Danish team. And we have 3 of them competing relatively strongly here in Katowice. That's right. You do get Heroic, you have North, and you have Astralis. And so not only is this a battle for Katowice, for IEM, it's a battle to see what you're made of in the Danish Counter-Strike scene. North, I have no doubt in the back of their minds, they would love to be lifting that trophy ahead of their domestic rivals.
I think more so than any other region, you know, this domestic rivalry is the hottest right now. To go out on top of Astralis here would be huge for them, and to show that they are the better Danish team at this event would be a big achievement. I think no matter who they go up against, though, you know, as they make their way through the tournament, every game at a time we're going to see class Counter-Strike from these lads.
And you regarded him as the Phoenix from the ashes after his removal from 2-time major champions SK. But FNX, he's lifted IEM trophies before, Natu. The chances of him doing it here?
I mean, it might be a little tough at this point in time, but I mean, this guy is so storied. He's lifted a World Championships trophy over 10 years ago. In 2006 was the first time, and then IEM a bunch of time after. So he's been around the block. He's seen it all, and now he gets to be that driving force, the guy with all the experience with these a little younger players.
In stark contrast, Magisk. I mean, he's been playing this game for a little over a year, was his statement. You played this game for over a year, and you know what? You got FNX on the other side of the stage who's been lifting trophies, you said, in 2006. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. He's 19 years of age. You do the maths yourself.
It shows what hunger and skill combined can do. You have to be hungry to get to the top level that quickly, right? So, and we were just saying how good of a player he is. His aggression is almost unrelenting. He just continues it, and he's always pulling off multi-frags. So there is a player who I'd like to talk about who's also unorthodox, a bit like Magic's, and that's Henny, or Hen1, Enrique. We got the telestrator right here of some of his unorthodox plays that we saw against Fnatic. So just to set this one up, he likes to play the middle section of the map with the orb very, very aggressively. And if we can start playing right now...
Sometimes too aggressively.
Yeah, well, he makes these picks, and it's something which I think he was one of the first players I see do it. He likes to jump out the window. This is an area which he'll smoke off the underpass so he can't die during the flank. And it's an area, you know, that while you're throwing your default grenades in middle, you're not actually looking for. He's able to get that sick shot and get away through the smoke or Molotov that they had actually placed down for him. So if we just pause it right now, we see Mirage in this matchup, which we don't know just yet, a way that North are going to have to tackle to stop that is by using better pop flashes. You saw Fnatic just run out there and get a play to the mid-box. Flush was playing it safe by doing the jump, but you're going to have to be extra cautious when taking middle against Henny, because he is going to go for the pick either from where he was at underpass, just here, or behind the smoke, just here. And he can escape back through and go to the A-bomb site. So he's just one of those players who are very explosive, and I think he's better used as an aggressive AWPer as opposed to a stationary AWPer.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him become, you know, a sit there and hold line AWPer yet, but if he can bring that into his game, he can become an all-round player.
To me, at least, it feels like there's two different kind of AWPers. There's the ones that are, if anyone remembers Fraud played back in the day, he was very passive, just holding angles. He was known for that kind of Skadoodle, I guess, would be a bit of an example of similar style. Henny, more like a JW style, all in, just go there, you make plays that can be a bit of a liability for your team, but then again, they kind of need those kind of plays because, like we talked, they need to be the team that dictates the space, and that's the kind of plays that do exactly that.
Is there not merit in combining both styles?
Oh, for sure. If you could do both, you're an all-round AWPer, and that's what you want. You need someone who can be a combat AWPer and a passive AWPer, and if you have that, you're laughing.
Often.
Yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see if maybe Henny can make that transition, and who knows, on this very stage, it could be done. But you mentioned maps. You said, will we see Mirage? We can provide some answers as we do start brainstorming for the veto. It's a best of 3 to get to the semi-finals. These maps mean everything, Chad, and I can see lots of scrolling and brainstorming on your piece of paper. We'll start with you. What are we expecting? What are your expectations?
Well, I think the 3 maps which we are most likely to see would probably be Cache, Cobble, and Mirage. Okay. Now, either team can throw a spanner in the works. You know, if you're Immortals, a pick of Inferno, if it's not banned out in the first phase, could be exciting. And the same deal with North. They could pick Overpass if it's not banned out in the first phase. I do think that we will see Immortals taking out Train, Nuke, and North taking out Train.
Exactly.
I think those will be the go-to bans. There we go. And the pick's going to come in here, so it looks like Immortals will get the first map choice. Probably be leaning towards like a Cache or something like that.
Oh, it makes sense, right? I mean, it's been a map that they've shown form on, and there we go. That's exactly what they do. Like we discussed earlier too, they've been mobile on the CT side. It's something that a lot of teams are very good at, but they've really shown they've understood the concept of how to work it out. Yeah. Now you see an Overpass pick from North, which makes sense in a way, because we talked about this earlier too. Immortals have vetoed this map a lot of the times in the past. They've shown in here, they played against FaZe.
Really struggled.
It was a bit of a struggle, but I'm pretty sure that Immortals were probably ready for this potential for the map to be in the play.
Both teams will be super happy with a Cobble as the 3rd map. It looks like it's back in North's map pool to stay, as that was the map that cut them across the line in the group stages. They had all their Ws on that. Yeah, Inferno's going to go out. That would have been too much of I guess a joker pick for MSL to leave in there, because it's still random at the moment, right? It's still being figured out. So teams don't have a huge amount of depth in the way they address it.
And within a best of 3, North is always going to have the upper hand. It is just a matter of the fact right now. We don't have enough evidence on Immortals to say that there would be, in a best of 3 scenario, a pool of maps that they'd have an advantage on.
I do think it's a necessary reminder as well that Cobblestone has been the only map North have had to play to get to this point. Exactly. It does sit as the 3rd decider, and so Immortals, their work is cut out for them. They either break that streak or they do it in 2.
I think that it's probably going to go 1-1, and then we're going to have the decider on the third. For Keish, we saw the aggression, as we spoke about before, from Henny and FNX on that A side especially. I think that this map, Keish, is a lot like chess. You know, you got to make your decisions. When territory gets taken, you have to quickly make a choice on what you're going to get back. So.
And talking of chess, we do have two knights to introduce. It's Henry G and Sadakis. You guys, you saw that intro. I hope you haven't had your eyebrows burned off by those pyrotechnics on the stage.
Alex, first and foremost, you say we're two knights. I'm actually the king and he's the queen. But yes, we do have
of esports.
We've got an incredible series. I think this map pool is very interesting. It's interesting how SK as well, you typically avoided cash for a long period of time, but Immortals have always had good success on it. If this goes 3 though, you mentioned it, North has played Cobblestone so many times already this tournament, and I think that favors them.
I'm going to say it's not going to 3 maps. I think North are going to take this 2-0. I think their cash has got better and better. They're happy to play it. I even got to talk to them on the way here. They're saying that cash is actually a map they're aiming for here. The thing is with Immortals, right, their CT side is very good, but their terrorist side on cash, it's clumsy. Their defaults aren't great. The tactical execution is not really there. Fair enough, the CT side is very, very good indeed. Very aggressive, very dynamic, and hopefully we do get a really good game back. On Overpass, I don't think Immortals can step up to them. That's why I'm going 2-0 North.
What do you make of the fact that they played each other relentlessly in practice ahead of this tournament? We heard it from both of them.
I mean, it's really hard to read into practice. I know that we visited SK in Cologne. We talked to them during their boot camp. They were wrecking everyone. If you go back in the history of practice matches, the teams that have done good typically get too complacent and comfortable. iBuyPower used to have a history of being incredible in practice before majors and then crashing out in groups. So I don't read too much into that. Maybe there's subtle nuances that they learn, but I think it's more individual that's going to come down to this. I think the AWP game is going to be massive. And it's interesting as well that you get Henny, who's been on the rise, and Cajun B, who's sort of revitalized this North lineup. And I think that's going to be a duo we're going to have to watch throughout the entire maps.
I can't wait to see how this goes down, but you've got to go for a bit of a run. Get your bum in the casting seat because it's about to go down. We'll see you later. Henry and Sados, their voices will be once again in your ears in just a moment's time as this quarterfinal does begin. But we can't start. We've heard what Henry had to say. He thinks this is done in 2 in favor of the Danes, another Danish team progressing in Katowice. But I want to know what my panel is saying. Sponge, will be starting with your thoughts and your prediction.
Yeah, look, I'm going to have to agree with Henry on that one. The reason for that is, even though Cage will probably be a close map, I think that North, they have a lot of depth on that map, and they are an exciting side on it. Even though MSL hates it, it's the map he wants out of the pool, they have the players who are good on it. You know, they have the aggression that you need to have on that map on the CT side, and on the T side, it just comes down to fundamentally taking those sites using your utility properly. Going on to Overpass, I can't see Immortals having much of an impact unless they, you know, just had a shocker the other day. They really didn't show a lot. A few aggressive moves on the CT side, but were always giving away that free kill afterwards and struggling to keep the man advantage.
Counter-Strike has been surprised by South American sides before. Natu, your prediction?
I'm going to side with the boys here because, like you said, Cash is the map where they need to win. Overpass is never going away of Immortals. We've seen in the past that it is a map that Cash is a map that North doesn't really like to play, but they've progressively been getting better. We've seen them being able to be really good on, especially on the TT side. So I don't think we're going to be seeing a third map. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 2-0 North.
Well, fortunately, we'll be talking about each one as it progresses. The scene is oh so beautifully set. Cash is Immortals' choice. Everyone here believes they have to win it. This is a must-win map for the Immortals, and we'll see if indeed their name will be tested as North prepare themselves for battle. Let's jump into our first quarterfinal here in Katowice 2017.
Katowice, here we go. It's time for the quarterfinals, and it's Immortals versus North, two teams that had a tough task in the group stages, but they made it work.
They certainly did. Who would have thought Immortals would be here in the quarterfinals over SK Gaming and the two Brazilian sides? It's going to be an excellent game here. We talked about the clash of styles here. The wall starts to raise in the middle, Matthew. That's always a very nice touch. Do you like that?
I love that. I think it's so cool. No team can see each other. Obviously, the whole flashbang thing is the issue there, but there's the crowd I expected.
Yes.
VP not in the game. They still have their support. We had that last year as well. That says VS, not VP, but it is going to be North. Starting out on the CT side of Cash, and already we see the buy. It's a kit and a smoke for Magisk.
Certainly is. And North on the CT side here. This is what we said for Immortals. They're going to struggle on this one, but we're going to see what happens on the two smokes they've got, the few flashbangs, as we get a little boost set up as well. This will be an A-sided execution. You can see Major's Boy and Cajun B, though. Retake set up, pretty standard stuff for now. AZ will be backing them up as well. These smokes will be used towards the bomb site, towards highway. Flashbangs will come in. FNX, you can see him boosted. He'll be there for the rotation kills and potentially a backstab as well.
Flash. Still ready, smokes down. Cajun spots through, sees the open door, tries to fire him with crosshair placement, already lined up, but doesn't get anything for it. Remember, the USP doesn't come with a lot of secondary ammunition, so he's got all of 25 bullets to work with. Fast plant, retake game onto A. And the kit becomes a factor for Magisk. He sits back by the truck. Cajun's gonna have AZ to work with him, but FNX is still waiting. Still boosted, still trying to catch out in the middle to go behind them as the rotations come in. He's perfectly timed this as well. They're just getting to the top of highway. He's gonna swarm in, but the smoke's still down. They may not be seen right away. Instead, it's Henny in the sight, finds two. FNX does get the backstab, but Config turns to find him. And MSL taps bomb, trying to cause panic and concern, but unfortunately it leaves him dead. And Config in a 1 versus 2. Over top of the ring crate already drops down, but spotted out. What a shot! Down goes Lucas, there's a chance. It's ticking faster and faster. The kid's still down from Magisk. He goes to the knife instead. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, but Steel says no. It's Immortals with the first round.
Config with the knife once again. It does not work out for him. He couldn't have won the round at that point, but you're absolutely right. Could have got an injection of cash there. It's going to be Immortals picking the pistol. FNX with the decent backstab. You could see what North are trying to do, that retake mentality, allowing them to plant. Quite a simple procedure for Immortals to get on towards the site. Bomb went down, and North couldn't get the frags in time. Immortals opened things up and managing to get the 1-0 here. In terms of the force buy, quite a conservative approach from the CTs here. Just a couple of deagles and one set of body armor for Config. So Immortals, though, 4 AK-47s. That's quite a lot of firepower bringing into the second round here. They're going to be lacking grenades, but that's what we talk about Immortals. Very talented powerhouse, and they'll be using their raw aim to take down their opponents here.
So Config tried to hit the jumping player back toward T-spawn. No success on the deagle. Cajun tagged 21. Config getting closer and closer though as he continues to work out in towards Sunroom. Does give him a chance if they walk that direction. He can catch them off, stays silently in the corner, but he thinks better of it and backs off. Just as they had that direction, and FNX catches him in transition. So Bomb now starts to lead off toward the B site, and it'll be a rotation from MSL and Cajun.
Yeah, they got that first pick now. Still have a minute on the board as well. They're waiting for any sort of reactions towards the middle. You can see Henny patrolling that area as well. CTs have got 2 players in B. That's going to be MSL and Cajun. But Immortals, without that smoke towards CT spawn, that is to be walking, and this is what we call a contact play. As soon as you spot a CT, that's when you explode into the site. You'll walk up until the point you find an enemy.
Check for the contact. MSL up above. Goal doesn't land. Tries again. A 4th, a 5th. That time does do damage, but no success on the kill, and it's down to 5 versus 2. Bomb to be planted to make sure the round has to be forced out from North. Both with the Eagles remaining. AZ, the newest addition to this team, back with former teammates. Lots of interesting roster shuffles. I'm excited to see how the next few months start to go. And there's AZ showing up on cue. Takes one down from distance. At this point, just about reinvestment. Force out any kills they can. Get the AKs importantly down, but they only manage the 1 kill in the round.
Nice clean round there from Immortals, managing to save the 3 AKs. One of them goes down, but they'll be absolutely fine going into round number 3 here. Nice slow play, getting some picks towards middle, contacting towards B, hitting their shots all required, and it's a little bit of a risk having the 4 AK-47s. You don't have the smokes to fall back onto and lock out those choke points, but they handled it with style there, and North should be on full eco here. Yeah, not a single dollar invested into round number 3. So Immortals there, they're trying to keep all 5 players alive, don't give anything away, and in terms of the stack, all 5 players for North towards middle, maybe just pushing into this mid-warehouse, and he's waiting for them, and he starts lighting them up that UMP.
Pick up, but they overwhelm him eventually. The problem is that the rest of them are swarming back. So very fast round that time. North trying to do what they can again. They get a few kills down, it'll force up some guns, but it was only one AK lost. It was a UMP otherwise, so AWP immediately for Henny.
Same story for CSGO as well. Without that heavy investment in the second round, you can see North are looking pretty healthy into round number 4 here. They managed to get HUD armor. No diffuse kits as of yet, but they have got the AWP on CSGO. This could be influential. Now, FNX, he'll be AWPing. He must have the decent spawn here.
He had it one spawn forward of where Henny was. So Henny threw it to him. He's going to try and go for a fast pick B. I imagine it'll be dropped immediately back over. He's got the lineup. It works. Play goes exactly as they planned, and there you go, Henny. Thank you very much. You can have that back. I'll take the AK, and MSL has to be careful to smoke himself off. Smart play to get back inside of the site. What an influential kill. First 15 seconds of the round, they go down a man already. Config and MSL therefore have to cover off the B sites. AZ plays far away from Magisk on Highway, and Magisk therefore is solo in A, but they'll continue right now at least to put the pressure onto the B site.
What's the reaction here from the CTs? You can see that it's spreading out. Pretty standard setup for now. We're getting a little bit of information as MSL picks up the AWP, trying to get that frag back in return. That Molotov's going to land at his feet, though. Needs to be careful. He's going to take a lot of damage. Goes down at 23. And manages to avoid a final tick there. That could have been deadly for him. Flashbang going in. Still wants his kill, but actually ends up flashing himself. Crowd are enjoying that one. That's better.
We don't have any North American teams in the final. We got to get some plays, right, Henry?
Indeed.
MSL waits to try and find this opening shot, but unfortunately for him, patience doesn't pay off because if FNX slips out immediately after he backs off. And North's investment into this, with AZ getting steal, it gives them a bit of encouragement, but he's got to be very careful, MSL. He goes Heaven instead. If they can't find enough picks, especially if they lose this one, he's going to have to consider just give it up. And he unfortunately now left alive. Config in a 1 versus 4. The AWP was already found. The point I was getting to is he's going to have to consider saving it and just rotating off to the A, giving up B before the bomb even enters. 17 seconds, very calculated from Immortals. They get the first pick early. They slow things down. They only lose one in the round. This is looking a great start, especially for the economy.
Just good fundamentals of Counter-Strike there. Decent spawn towards B. FNX gets thrown the AWP. He's got a lot of confidence there to try and find that first pick. CSGO B. Up and down in these sort of playoff stages of Counter-Strike. Sometimes has great performances, sometimes very quiet. That's going to rattle his confidence a little bit there. He was ready for that pick, and he gets taken down. At that point, Immortals spread out, managed to get another pick towards the A side of the map as well, and just execute in towards B. Very simple stuff, but it works very effectively. That's what we talk about this team, not having a great amount of tactical depth, but very skilled across the board. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and it's going to be North now. CZ's 5-7's almost certainly going to be the 5-0 here. We can see Bolts, he'll be patrolling towards the B warehouse, seeing if there's any sort of aggression towards that side of the map. Looking at the CD setup, pretty standard stuff there, but Bolts does find the first shot, takes down Config to open up the round.
Twice in B, twice they see within first 15 seconds a kill. Rewarded with no further aggression, so it's easy to stabilize into this 5 versus 4. Not that I expect much from the Pistols, but Bolts, again, he was very good on this map on the group stages, by the way. We have to mention, on CT side and A, he was an anchor at the quad position.
That's the scary thing. They were so good on the CT side. They actually looked quiet on the teaser. Now they're opening things up 5-0. This is going to be a real struggle for North going forward. Not really much they can do in round number 5 here. It's going to be 3 players remaining for North. Not really together either. AZ alone on that B site. CSGO B does rotate towards Heaven, but Bolts, he's hit 2 kills so far. Looking for the third, nails it as well. And it's just going to be poor old AZ now. Surely going to be going down to the hands of FNX. Indeed, he does. And Magisk, nothing he can do into this. Very slow, methodical round from Immortals. They're not overcommitting. They're getting the kills, working as a unit, making sure there's refrag potential as they go forward. Looking very promising so far. Their economy is going to be in a fantastic situation. As I say that, Bolts, he hits the $13,000 mark as they get the 5-0 here. So having a look at the buy coming in for North once again. CSGO B back on that AWP. Config, known to pick it up as well. They could go for the double orb setup. I'm not going to bring it to the table just yet. CSGO, what's his play here? Does he go to a more passive hold? Has he been rattled by that initial pick, or does he try and keep applying that dynamic sort of aggression we come to expect on the CT AWPers of Cash now?
There's been 9 kills over the first 6 rounds for North. Sounds a decent amount. The problem with that is 4 of them were in the pistol. So when the investment started hitting, they haven't really been forcing much out in terms of rebuys. So Immortals very, very comfortable. A tough order for North as well, especially facing a reset early. They continue to put aggression on the B side of the map. Really killing FNX is an encouraging sign from CSGO as he goes down to 11, but they have to be worried about the fact that MSL gets tagged up and they're nearly spotted out, thankfully for the smoke, to get to Sunroom.
There's CSGO B with the AWP towards the middle. They've got an advantage in MSL towards B storage as well. Smoke down for Bolts, but he wants to try and challenge this. He's aware that there's a CT potential towards that Sunroom, but it looks like an A execution will be coming in eventually. Lucas and Henny controlling A storage, and still he's ready by the squeaky door here. They have got smokes and Molotovs remaining as well, but they have got the man at disadvantage now.
Magisk is very important in this. Cajun has the op. Easily can be smoked off if they don't. Great bonus. He has to hit the shot, but Magisk is the linchpin, because he has to cover out, especially if his teammate goes down. Nice jump shot from Henny, and he's going to rotate in behind the red crate. Molotov's going down, gets in the open, and Henny finds, and they force it out. Very well played from Immortals. As the smoke back toward the truck, Daisy has to fight forward, manages one. This looks good. Config rotating over, only one kill, and MSL it all to do. 1 versus 2 bomb to be planted. Molotov won't reach. Bolts stay forward of it, and Henny's already got the shot. 6-0 Immortals.
4 kills for Henny. He's just opening up that map and destroying North, kill by kill there. Nothing they could really do about it. It looked promising at one point, Config finding 1 or 2 kills there on the A side, but the trades were so good for Immortals. MSL left in such a difficult predicament there. He tries to throw the incendiary to deny the plant there, but it's already come in. It was too deep, and at that point, Henny set up, gets that final kill. It looks very simple for Immortals right now. North, they even got the first pick in that previous round. They had the advantage, but straight away, that jump shot towards the A side, it gets taken away. Henny now towards B, could find another opening shot here. Pretty standard setup once again from North. Gonna be on another eco, and Henny, there it is, takes down Config, misses the second, but he's got information that players in towards checkers.
So tags into Bolts, but he'll continue to sit with Henny to babysit. But just does get inside of A main. He has AZ to try and bait him in as well, playing from the boxes, but still slipping around behind it. Squeaky. So they're not considering that position, which they do. They could both get caught off and isolated. Thankfully turns the attention, but now it means Magisk has no cover. Thankfully, again, for that sake, they don't push through into A main. It's all back over to B. Kill base still finds Magisk already inside of checkers. He's shot from MSL. FNX had him dead to rights with a nade, but no time to throw it. HP very low. They'll back off and take no chances. This is very smart from Immortals.
Perfect call as well. You can see they force the rotation towards that B side of the map. 2 players very low HP for North as well. There's one of them going down. There's going to be MSL that drops, and the bomb should be planted at this point. All Cajun B can really do is sit at that truck, hope he gets a 1D coming in. He's actually only got the P250, so that's not even possible. And that's going to be the round concluded. AZ might get a consolation frag here. He does a lot of damage, but can't finish it off. And finally, Henny. He seems to be hitting absolutely everything right now. 7-0 in favor of Immortals. But do have another buy coming in. Is of course going to be maximum loss bonus for the Danish side here. They're actually thinking about bringing out the AWP, but will it be for Config this time? It's not. 5 rifles. They got that opening pick before, but let's see what they can do with this rifle or M4 focus buy. I think they need to start showing some more focus towards middle, maybe send 3 players in area. MSL's normally good at shutting that down. Looks like he's actually focusing towards B this time.
The next spraying through. Config spots tracers, fires back. Oh, Magisk. That's playing with fire. Trying to go through there. No flash set and ready from AZ. And walking into a slaughter. Henny as well as covering off Squeaky to make sure they don't push through from the site. First time with guns, they've been able to stabilize toward Checker, and therefore they can get the boost up for Config.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. He just busted out the vent, so he came through middle. We did see him trying to get aggression toward the top of red.
Well, nothing apparent as of yet. Some Immortals will be molotoving off the vents by the looks of things. The Config will be moved out of position. Henny has his toes burned slightly there. Config manages to stay in the vents here, so at least going to be aware he's there for now. But jumping out, flashbang comes in. Bolts can't nail the shot. Very difficult one to make. And we hit the 1-minute mark here. In terms of the smokes remaining, Immortals still do have 3 of those, so an execution still possible. Boosting up towards middle, presumably going to get FNX up there. Maybe something very similar to what we saw on the pistol.
MSL continues to try and take this fight. He's done hardly any, to be fair, damage to Bolts. MSL's on 15, he has to back away from it. It puts Config trying to slip through the smoke to get aggressive. That works wonderfully. He has to fall back now immediately. And as he does, that should encourage, as we already saw Immortals setting for it, a take onto the A site. Smoke will go down, cover off top, highway, flash to follow. Molotov, does it go fence or into quad? Doesn't matter because Magisk still has room to work. He's got bomb down, 2 for North, and Config follows it up. 2 HP for Henny, run and save the gun. They've got lots of money, we mentioned it, but this is a lost cause, no sense. Although, that said, reset coming in, every kill he gets is very important because it'll force out, and they try to throw a cheeky little pistol. Make him turn. But they'll have to force out reinvestment. If they stay with 4 up, that's fine. You can almost let him stay, but it goes down after the time. That'll give him no money. Again, they've got lots.
Yeah, they're fine.
But it still chisels away a little bit of what could have been potentially a further down the line utility.
Well, Config taking matters into his own hands there. You could feel MSL is taking a lot of pressure towards Check as he pushes through the smoke, gets that kill, ascertains that there's only going to be 1 player towards that side of the map. He rotates over and Magisk, that was actually his first 2 frags into this game from the forklift area. He's going to start building his confidence up now, and it's the first round posted by North. But like you said, a lot of reset potential here. North need to start stringing rounds together. They can probably still buy if they lose this one, but it'll be so weak going forward. So they need to make sure they have a decent round here, number 9.
He's made his way up top box, A main. Used to be very common players would go there, and as such would be sprayed, spammed, and taken care of. Meanwhile, MSL continues to try and press. Oh. Not quite that lovely. That is amazing. 2 Molotovs in, nowhere to go. They know he's been playing there. Simple, we'll counter you out. He's got to stop being aggressive at that position at this point because he's not winning that battle. He's yet to win that battle.
Oh,
that is even more incredible through the wall. I didn't even think that hit. Config goes down, looks for another toward heaven.
Oh, they're just getting pulled apart right now. Those Molotovs were just so perfect there. And that shot from Henny, look at this. It's relentless. CageNB by himself manages to pick up a frag towards Bolts, but no commitment as of yet from Immortals. They'll be holding up. They've got Checkers control and seeing whether they can find this next pick.
Cajun's got to be aware of that too, toward Checkers, because he put the Molotov down to deny them entry, but Steel made it by. He sees it now. As the smoke goes out, lines up, headshot potential. Lucas is going to enter as well. Tags on both of them. Potentially kills further, but he drops bomb temporarily. 13 HP left for Steel. AZ. What's the call? You mentioned it. Money's tight. He's pushing out through A main. They've yet to plant, so there's a chance he can at least make himself known and have a presence toward this. Or does he just set for exits at this point?
Just slow and basic CS coming in for Immortals here. Henny just playing lights out, performing in this first quarterfinal here at Intel Extreme Masters. He gets 3 frags into this round. Nothing AZ can do about this. He's got a kit, but he needs to be saving this M4 and incendiary in his pocket as well. So in terms of the money next round, they've got about 2,500 to 3K per player. CageNB a little bit less than that. So if AZ can save this weapon, at least he can drop an M4 over, maybe Professor Famis, and they'll have a buy there, but it won't be very good at all. Henny, that second shot he got towards the Checkers room as Config was trying to retreat. Very, very nice stuff indeed. And did you see how MSL got punished there as well? The double Molotov, there's nothing he could do. Burn to a cinder that. AZ, the last player remaining. His position given away at this point. He takes down Steel. He might be able to survive this. You know exactly where he is. Henny just hoping his head pops up once again, but there it is. He does survive. So managing to bring a buy at least. It won't be very strong at all, but a pause comes in. Probably a good time to call it. They are going to be buying into this round, but MSL, he needs to work out what's the problem here. Why are they losing this first pick time and time again? Henny's just eviscerating them. He's got 16 kills, 4 deaths after 9 rounds.
It's ridiculous. A lot of those kills, too, have come over toward that B site. We mentioned it, MSL's aggression. The one round that went their way, it was Config going up from middle to get inside of the vents. Then they were able to stabilize. And it's very standard default from Immortals as well. Yeah. You're playing 1 in B, 1 toward Checker, or sorry, excuse me, Squeaky, and the other 3 are just playing off that, looking for information, trying to find picks in mid. They've gone for a boost a few times, and then once they get that pick, they slow it down and play the execution. So it's a tough call. You want to try and control that map. You want to try and control the B hole so that they don't get a read into the site, don't limit you so that they can execute. But at the same time, MSL's losing it every time. So I think backing off is going to have to be the answer for him.
Yeah, maybe
or a fast off drop.
Well, this is the thing. CageNB, he isn't exactly hitting everything right now. I think he's got 1 AWP kill so far. He's not the kind of AWP that would go for those really flashy plays. They're going up against Henny as well. The former he's in, that's a real scary prospect. And he, for now, he'll be looking towards A storage, and Majors walks into his crosshair. They're trying to make something happen here. It's one of those maps that allows CDs to have options at the start, but no flashbang coming in. Henny, that has looked too easy for him. He just reads that like a book. 5 on 4, just like that. They have 1 minute 30 remaining as well. North need to get something back in their favor. Another smoke goes in. AZ might try and push A storage once again. Surely not another free kill for Henny.
3rd time in a gun round. It's been a 5 on 4 before the 1 minute and 30-second mark, all in favor of Immortals. AZ does get to the top boxes. Smoke's soon to dissolve, so he'll flash his way back inside of the site instead. Completely blinding Config, but door not open from Squeaky, so he's fine. And this time they did stay more passive on B, and yet they got punished on A. I still say getting up toward vent inside of middle, that's going to be the best chance to set a crossfire. And now, again, with the early pick, back to straightforward play. It's picks through mid, information gains, map control gathered, and execution late. 44 seconds. They should go around 20. If not a little sooner if they want to go through mid. So smoke down, vent's a possibility. Henny's gonna look over top to make sure no one's there. They'll flush out behind sandbags.
I think that smoke was destined for the connector, but for now it's fine because there's no one actually there from the CT. Henny is so aggressive right now. He's in the zone and his teammates will be making their way towards B. Player in B storage as well. A lot to live up to here, MSL. Can he find a frag?
Arrive on the site with 20 seconds. MSL finds one though. He's in behind the boxes. And FNX, turning around, gets saved by Bolt, says he couldn't find CageNB pushing through. MSL's got to go to the pistol. Low on ammunition, last alive, down to a 1 versus 2 and found. 7 seconds, had a chance if he took down Steel to keep that bomb from being planted, but 3 kills from Henny again, 19 total on round 11.
This is so sick from him. North up against it that round. When you have those limited buys, 4 and 4s, limited utility, at a UMP as well, someone had to try and make something happen. Mages pushes in towards A storage, and the thing is, there's no flash. He's kind of having to rely on that surprise factor there, but no surprise at all. Henny ready for that, picks up that first frag, and another full eco now for North. And Henny, aggressive of course, towards middle, doesn't land a shot just yet, but he spots 2 CTs, and FNX will be backing him up. He takes down Config, and this round looks like it's done already. Not what really can he do on the CT side? He's got a couple of P250s, no grenades, no armor. As they do start to control middle, MSL has got a little bit of room to wiggle towards B storage.
MSL.
Oh dear.
He's gonna get Molotovs. Yeah, nothing he can do. Bolts, again, winning that duel. Endless one-on-one. Seems to favor Immortals. That's quite pretty as he clotheslines AZ walking back inside of the site. They get through the vents. And again, Bomb will head over toward the B side. Surprisingly, with those kills, good pickup from Cajun B. Can he get to the AK? Stay unscathed? Does, but goes down immediately after from an 8. And that'll close the round again with Henny. So another kill makes him onto the 20 bomb at 11 rounds, 12 rounds, just starting.
Believe it or not, this is still doable for North. Getting 10-5, even 11-4, still very possible to come back on the on the terrorist side and make things happen. But like we said, Immortals deadly, and right now the form they're in, Henny at 20 kills, moving up to that CT side. Maybe this is too much of a tall task. The buy comes in, 4 and 4s, Mages on the Famous, no kits, limited in grenades once again. A little bit of wall bang coming towards middle. AZ takes 10 damage there and a boost towards the box here. A little bit desperate at this point, but they're going to be pushing towards Squeaky Door as well. They do get a frag, something to work with. It's a 4 and 4, and Mage is stepping up. Finally, someone's going to find something here. It's going to be the bomb drop, but Config goes down at the same time. So does AZ.
North with absolutely nothing in this first half. In the first map at that. We said, you said 2-0. I did say Immortals could play this map.
Yeah.
Unlike SK, they seem to have some understanding and grip on it. Working very well. I kind of compounded by the fact North's slow to start as well, but this is where the series really depends on the second map for North. If they can get it to Cobble, I think they still have a chance in it. Overpass, of course, being that second map. Bolts will close it out 11-1.
This is looking grim now. It has to be another eco as well. Only a 4 stage lost bonus means $2,900 coming in on the CT side. Not really enough to work with there. So PT50s, it's a very bitter pill to swallow indeed, but should be 12-1 at this point. And there's someone who can go absolutely wild with the Desert Eagle. Mages can Config to wield those weapons. In terms of a stack, pretty standard stuff from North there, and Immortals know the money's going to be low once again. Config trying to challenge towards B, but Bolts just rips his head off once again. These guys are just hitting every single shot right now, and Henny, okay, how many kills has he got right now? He must be on 22 kills after 12 rounds. That's 13 rounds, sorry. That's pretty unbelievable. No one's really turned up for North whatsoever. They're getting absolutely manhandled right now.
Magisk 4 kills, AZ 4 kills. Config does have 7 for whatever that's worth.
Double orb setup now, maybe a little bit late at this point. It's going to be the last 2 rounds absolutely required to stand a chance going into that second half. Cajun being Config, like we said, Config to secondary AWPer, but the AWP hasn't really working out for him at all, and he hits absolutely every shot. Lucas trying to commit past the flames there, takes a little peek, has to drop off. In terms of the aggression right now, CT's allowing middles to be open. We have 1 player in the vents, that's MSL. Hopefully won't be challenging towards B because he keeps losing that battle time and time again. They're just trying to wallbang towards Squeaky Door. No damage inflicted as of yet, though.
Boost looking like it wants to come in one more time. From Immortal, Steel's already out toward the door. Magisk and AZ will stay more passive this time in the A site. Magisk going to start to slip in behind the fork, but smoke down. Nothing going to follow that up. So they counter that off. That just bleeds a bit more utility away from the CTs. Boost. To go. Lucas gets down. Already inside of middle. Steel opens the door. Tries to find information for it, but it's MSL that finally gets a kill. FNX goes down. That's over toward B. Bolts is trying to sell it. Because Bomb is still inside of A main, and Bolts has sold it very well. He gets 2 kills. And it means Cajun goes back over to the wrong side of the map. However, A is working out because Magisk has stepped up to find Steel. Lucas has the bomb alone, and he's in a 1 versus 3. Finally, a second round, perhaps. Flash goes out, goes too deep. That's going to give away Magisk in the corner, but doesn't matter. He still finds the kill.
They just find the final frag there. Cajun be opening things up. It looked a bit scary at one point there. Bolts finds 2 kills towards B. Just as he does it, his teammates start to drop. It's going to be round number 15 here, 12-2 right now in favor of the Immortals. They bring out a double AWP setup on the terrorist side. Why not? You can probably drop an AK and T-spawn for yourself. You've got so much money to work with here. Back to the single AWP setup for North here. Config and AZ towards middle. MSL alone towards B. Once again, just waiting for any CT plays to coming into their crosshairs here. Config thinks better of pushing through that smoke. And he makes his way back towards that B side.
Config. Being aggressive out from the vent, slipping through, tries to spray into the smoke, no results. FNX again with the spawn, has to try and fire in with the AWP, the double AWP on the T side. Cajun has his at mid playing from white box. Careful to consider that when they cross, if they want to go inside the middle. They've done it pretty much every round, so you'd expect at some point in time they will, and that's exactly the time, but nice trade. One op goes down, the other shows up, and FNX essentially wins the duel, because as we say, trades favor the offense, thins the defense out, they get less map awareness out of it.
Absolutely, the 4-on-4 is a scary prospect right now for North. The AWP has gone down. Still a minute to work with as well. Bolt holding towards Sunroom. A bit of a standoff between him and Config. The duel could come in momentarily. Config knows there's a heavy possibility. Bolt is waiting for him. He's been their nemesis towards that side of the map. And from what I can see right now, I'd speculate the B split will be coming in. We still have a couple of smokes ready towards middle. Take away that vision from the CTs. And there's the bait out. Jumping across for FNX to try and get that opening pick. MSL there. Gets taken down once again. He's in no man's land. And the rifle as well. Bolt strikes once more. And just like that is the 4-on-2. Majors Ganazi with a huge task in their hands. No option to save here. It's the final round.
Still waiting to see if there'll be any further aggression, and AZ's gonna walk directly into this. Crosshair's already perfect, fires in a little early. Spots gun barrel, it costs him. So AZ gives them a chance on the retake. Lucas to plant the bomb inside of the site. And he'll have to sit on the platform. Bolts is gonna stay there as well, though. Low HP from Bolts. You'd expect him to try and find information sooner, but he's tucked in the corner. So it's a bit more difficult for him to spot for Lucas, whereas instead, he could do damage to AZ. There he goes down. That's the information, though. It works. Trades work. And FNX waiting inside of the B main finds Magisk. 13-2, not at all the start to this quarterfinal I would have expected.
Absolutely not, especially on this T side as well. I thought that when I watched Immortals yesterday, I thought they looked a little bit clumsy on this one. Didn't really have that all prowess we saw from Henny. What an amazing half he's had there. 22 kills, just absolutely finding everyone on the map. Nothing North could do.
Well, North still sleeping. We'll give a short break to them and see if they can wake themselves up, and they've got to pull back into this game immediately. They say good nights breed good mornings, but it may take more than a few caffeine pills just to get North awake in this one. It's a slow start. 13-2, they got obliterated. Nothing they could do could shut down basically a simple default from Immortals. They're hitting every shot.
Just great fundamentals across the board there. Nothing too technical, nothing too flashy in terms of the tactics there. No real fakes coming in, holding up in the default, hitting every single shot. North that's relentlessly challenging and getting out-dueled every single time. We get into the second half, 13-2 in favor of Immortals. This is a must-win pistol for the Danish side. 4 sets of armor and a smoke towards middle. Fast mid-play coming in. It seems they want to try and get this control, and it will be an A split eventually, but 3 CTs. This is no retake. They're ready to challenge.
FNX down. Good start for North. And though does pull one back, still in behind quad. Can't get the reload done fast enough, and MSL finds 2. They'll swap immediately onto the USP. Bomb swung wide to take a duel, which is peculiar because if that goes down in that situation, it could be hugely problematic, but Config was still inside of middle, and Lucas, although finding him is now the last alive. 1 versus 3 coming in from Truck. Spots Magisk immediately on the catwalk. No such magic to try and get a headshot into him, but still, he stands a slight chance in this. Has the kit picked up as well. Dropped inside of the site, all 3 peek at once. That's quite good from North, and this gives them a chance for momentum finally to start stringing things together. And I have to say, people talk about the Virtus plow, the momentum, getting rolling. Immortals seems to me to be just as much a momentum team as any other. I assume this is a technical pause that we've got.
Yes, it will be.
Point being, if North can get rolling and get the economy in their favor, there is a chance they can claw this to a reasonably close scoreline.
Well, it's that age-old discussion now, Matthew. The fact that Immortals have this huge lead, the 13-2 coming into the second half. They've lost the pistol. Do they need to throw their economy in the bin here? Do they want to try and end this nice and quickly, force by the second, and take a bit of a gamble there? Or do exactly what North did and try and keep the money much stronger going into that first gun round, enable themselves to have the AWP? But Bolts, he's brought the CZ and head armor as well, so it looks like they will be going for the more aggressive approach here, and they are very good with those up-close and personal pistols, especially the CZ-75, so we'll see what they can do here. Unpause comes in. The buy starting to amount for North here. It's going to be 3 AK-47s for them. AZ on the UMP. I'd assume another SMG will come in as well. Config just down to a Tech 9, so they're kind of making sure they have utility to work with. So you've got 4 smokes, flashbangs, and a Molotov as well. Not a full commitment from Immortals. You can see they've got 2 players without head armor. That's Henny, of course. He wants to have that AWP going forward. Asian B with a decent spawn. Might challenge towards middle here. Flashbang comes in. Finds some damage, but can't take that FNX just yet.
He'll sit and wait to see if any further aggression will show up from the white box. Small stack, if you will. I wouldn't really call it a stack with 3 in the A, but toward the catwalk position, 2 players, 1 above it, Steel, and 1 below it, Henny. At the forklift, Steel's gonna jump over instead. Slide boost potentially for Bolts, or just wait for a trade peek. Steel's actually considering behind them, given that they've no information as to mid or highway, so they could slip up undetected from that position. Cajun makes to make sure there's no one going to show up boosted from B inside of the vents. I could foil the plans, grab an AK. Backstab North. The last thing they need right now is to lose the ensuing eco after finally winning the pistol.
But if they win it, they go up in that first gun round with a weakened Immortals in terms of what they can buy. So need to make sure they win this one, obviously, at this point of the game. MSL smoking towards CT spawn. His teammates made their way towards highways, looking very promising so far, but there are 4 CTs on this side of the map. Config though, easy frag to open things up.
That's where they left highway open. That's why they had to be careful of it and consider it inside of the site. Steel tries very well. Gets 2, finds a 3rd.
No.
We mentioned losing the eco would be a disaster. It's a reality now because Cajun, he's got an AK, but he's got 3 to find. There's armor on Steel as well with 3 kills. He's picked up the AK in return. He's still inside of the site and vision of the bomb. They've spotted Cajun B crossing. He now knows that they're back, he thinks, toward truck. It's actually bottom highway, so he doesn't quite have the information he seeks, and Steel's playing very smart. Not peeking, now does. Cajun knows he's there. Low HP, simple kill, but they're close. Oh, bomb out, 3 seconds, it's done. They don't have to peek. Round's over, he's got the first kill. It's done and dusted, and no money for Cajun North. I think that spells the end.
I think it certainly does. You could see FNX trying to come with the cheeky knife as well, just as the time runs out. Here's the replay. I said they were good with these CZ-75s, and as soon as Config gets that first frag, it's going to be Steel striking from the bomb site here, and actually finding 3 kills in total, looking very strong indeed. That's an absolute nightmare for North, and they have to force buy back into this one. They can't allow Immortals to get to map point at this stage and have so many rounds, 12 in a row to get just to force overtime. Smokes towards B storage. AZ going to try and do what he can to get towards checkers, but Lucas in the perfect position to shut this down. There we go. Oh, okay, AZ does find a headshot, but will be taken down in return.
So 2 Deagle headshots in this. To be fair, he's had lots of time to work with the Deagle in this game.
Yeah.
Smoke off. Steel still behind it. One big pushing through. Found.
It's the only AK as well.
Exactly. Thank you very much for the weapon. He stays on the UMP. Tries to go back and find the AK inside of the smoke. Does eventually grab it. 4 playing onto 2. Armor on both because they had to go for something in this, but map point is around the corner for Immortals. And what a fast first map for them. What a first map in general for them, just the way they've played this. They look very hot and ready to play that. You going to overpass?
The thing is that this is Immortals pick. Take what you will from it. We go into overpass next. It's the best of 3 series. You've seen this happen many, many times before in big games. MSL does find a shot here. This round not necessarily over just yet, but the point I want to make is CSGO, as soon as this one map finishes, you just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you're moving on to your pick, and that's when you know you can balance the series out. Bomb will be planted. 3-on-2 now. This round is still a possibility. Made is towards Forklift, MSL holding tight on the site, and we'll see whether they can do anything about this if they spot the first player towards CT spawn.
MSL considers the backstab coming in from A main. He's not wrong to assume so, but it's not that direction by which Henny approaches. It's down towards Squeaky instead. Just peeking out, gets the shot, but he's in the flames! Oh! What a shot! On to steal. He's left his sitting duck as Henny enters, but that's the information for MSL. He's got armor, and he's got a Deagle. He's got to play the time. He's got to peek it correctly. Does, nails it. North's back in with a small shout, but a shout nonetheless.
Well then, Mages. Turns up with that Desert Eagle. That's 2 incredible shots there. MSL winning the 1v1 as well. A lifeline perhaps here. Here's the replay towards CT spawn. That first shot was good. That was nuts though. Very nice stuff indeed. And North pull one back just about. Another force buy from Immortals. They want to strike back when North are still a little bit weaker here and find match point, or map point I should say, as MSL. Quickly towards mid, smoke towards connector as well. Takes away the CT vision. And this boost, though, it's actually going to be working in favor of Henny. He gets the headshot. Quite a common boost these days. MSL overlooks it. And it's going to be a 5-on-4 just like that. Maybe a 5-on-3, but Cajun B neutralizes the situation.
Had to as well. Config goes back up, gets rid of the UMP, and he'll grab the AK instead. Has an extra flash sitting down where his teammate Parrish throws one to Highway just for the sake of it, grabs the other one instead. And in through the vents, they'll now converge onto the B site. Lucas has FNX digged up through the wall down to 34. Inside the nade, stares it down smartly so. If you look at the nade in CS, less damage. Leaves him on 12 HP. Config, though, has 2. It was 3 in the back of the site for Lucas instead, and bomb gonna be planted. Nade, though, goes in and does a significant amount of damage on a Config.
This should be the round tied up at this point, but North need to be very careful. Don't give anything else away. 4 players surviving. FNX down to 12 HP as well. He's got the Desert Eagle. And of course, this was a force buy from Immortals. They can no longer win this round. Might just be worth saving the weaponry and the armor as well into round number 20. Trying to get some exit frags here. Will be Bolt holding the tight angle there as well, but Magisk, he will not be pushing any further. He knows there's a CT on the left-hand side. Maybe he doesn't have the information that FNX is going to be there. Might walk into his crosshair at this point.
May do, but backing out through B, that's not likely to happen. Just waiting to see if they'll exit away, if they're still closer to the side at Z Connector, but all said and done, it's North's 5th round. We saw North in a series versus Virtus Pro at the Major, a series which also then had a comeback from VP on Cobblestone.
Yes.
To win them the series, but we saw them in the first map get absolutely blown out as well. And one of the things we mentioned was, even if they couldn't win the game, even if they played back from a situation like this, it gave them a bit of warm-up, it gave them a bit of confidence.
It's true.
Cajun B especially was slow in that game.
And they actually went on to Cash, and that's when they won it. That was actually why I was getting excited about this Cash pick. Like I said, we spoke to North before this one. They said they've been practicing a lot. They've made some adjustments, actually quite comfortable on it now, but this round should be pretty simple procedure for them. It's going to be Cajun B finding that first frag. That's one of the armored players as well. FNX goes down. And the smoke towards middle once again. They've got to be aware the boost is a possibility, but not the case this time. Good Molotov to flush out bolts there. He's going to have to move. And presumably into the embrace of one of the terrorists on the other side. It's going to be Cajun B that takes his head off. 5-on-2 just like that. And North, we might have a game in our hands here, Matt. It could happen.
It's possible, but the problem is it's such a little margin for error where they're already on 14 rounds. One slip up, it's map point, and then pressure really gets applied.
Yeah.
Good find on Steel. Again, efficiency is going to matter. It's only 2 rounds to lose, but you don't want to be reset after 1, so build up a bit of a bank account to work with. Lucas trying to hunt down AZ. We'll spot him. Bomb planted on B as we saw it. Now it's essentially done. It's just a matter of formality at this point. Who's going to find the kill? AZ nearly does go down.
Yeah. Well, Lucas is done for. The problem is, with third stage loss bonus after this one, they get $2,400. The AWP's not a possibility for Immortals. They're going to have to go with the 5 rifles here, and they will certainly be limited in terms of grenades as well. We know Immortals love to be aggressive. FNX and Henny especially finding opening kills, falling back. They're very good at pincering either side of the map. B and A at the same time, they'll go for opening picks, and that's why they're taking another eco here. They've got this huge lead. Let's not force ourselves into unfavorable situations. Let's make sure we have the AWP, have all the grenades and defuse kits. They do a partial buy here, which is absolutely fine. CZ 5-7s. Lucas has the kit just in case, and a fast play from north towards middle. Getting that map control once again. Smokes and Molotovs towards that side of the map, and aggressive play from the CT, trying to get a flashbang in towards A main.
Steel's already made it through from Squeaky. So the stack on A has some variance. The fact that FNX stays back and they leave Lucas into B, but it's also not necessarily going to work for much, because as soon as they spot this on the north side, they should be able to grab bomb, rush down Lucas. They've backed off slightly. They've anchored Henny toward the lockers instead. FNX stays closer, but bomb's still waiting. Good find from Magisk. Smoke out. And instead of even risking trying to walk into either site that's stacked, why not get behind them? Go straight through the middle of the map, get behind and wrap around to the designated target. That's going to be B. So that's the right call based on our information.
Yeah, this is actually quite lovely from North. It's quite rare to see terrorist teams make their way through the connector, but this actually could work out for them. Unfortunately, though, Steel's going to be there to CZ. AZ finds Lucas, and Steel once again with this pistol being an absolute menace, and it's going to be Cage and B to shut down the situation, presumably there. Yes, he finds 2 kills, and now just bolts remaining. He's got the AK. If he can take that into the next round, he'll be very happy with that indeed. But I like this from Immortals. Like we said, they've got this huge lead right now. Let's not keep force buying and wrecking our own economy. We'll make sure we have maybe a double AWP setup going to the next round. I think it'll just be Henny, and then maybe go for one of their classic aggressive plays, AWP towards Squeaky Door, maybe towards middle. We'll see what they decide to bring to the table. But Bolts for now, saving its AK-47. It helps balance the books a little bit here. You can see the money on the screen. They'll be getting $2,900 into the next round, on top of what they already have. So a nice healthy buy coming in. North got a little bit problematic with that CZ75 once again from Steel, but they keep 3 players alive here, and Bolts maybe gonna get another one. Okay, so Bolts did actually find that kill. He took down MSL, and he will be surviving with the AK into this one, so the AWP comes out. This is where things get interesting. If North can start to string together a few gun rounds, then we might have a game on our hands. We haven't actually seen one of these as of yet. That's kind of strange considering the scoreline's 5-1 right now, but North at least showing something here on cash.
This time bomb dropped intentionally outside of A main. AZ and Cajun will work their way in. Cajun staring down the push through AWP, and AZ, interesting, wants to cross off closer to the smoke. Typically you stand behind the box with face to the wall and avoid the flash that comes through. Basically the bait and switch with Cajun. MSL meanwhile out towards Squeaky, so they'll slow the play. Unlike what Immortals was capable of in these slow defaults, they haven't found opening picks. Pretty remarkable that, like I said, 3 rounds they had before the 1 minute and 30-second mark. They had a man advantage.
Yeah, right. Well, in terms of that aggressive play we're expecting, that's not coming at all. It's going to be quite a default play from Immortals so far. And he towards middle in quite a precarious position. That Molotov, oh, the smoke takes a little bit late to actually bloom there. Takes him down to 28 HP. Going for that mid play once again. The AWP will be flashed in. Crisscross smokes have been deployed as well, so his player in the vents who's low HP as well. That's Steel being covered right now, but May just takes him down.
That's a big kill from Magisk. The way he's playing in that smoke, it looked like he was going to line them up and get 2. And he though responding, tries to go for the jump. The way he's been playing this game, you wouldn't rule it out, but Cajun B waits for him on the doorstep, takes him down. It's onto Lucas in the site. Rotation as he goes down, coming in from FNX and Bolts, but they're only just reaching middle now. And as you say, they're playing this smart. They're playing the long game. They're not over-investing, but do they consider just saving these 2 rifles? And trying to find better chances in the next round. Again, they still have a bet. It'll be 14-8. That's exactly what they're going to do. So 14-8. But something to work with in those 2 guns themselves.
North
and
there.
FNX, just to mention, also went back to get the AWP.
Yeah, absolutely. Picks up the AWP and managing to take down AZ as well. And North there with actually quite a nice calculated round. They ascertain that Steel's going to be towards that vent position. Do some decent damage to him as well. He tried to pit that Molotov as quickly as he could, but the smoke did not bloom in normal, usual time. It actually took a little bit longer than usual, but he goes down to 28 HP, decides to stay there using that smoke. Little gap there, but May just takes him down. Critical smokes come in, they go for that B split. And like you said, the CTs will be saving their weapons at this point. Maximum loss bonus coming in at this stage. I think we have a tactical pause from the Brazilians, which makes sense. They've still got $8,000 on bolts, so they can certainly buy up into this round with the additional loss bonus coming in. They get 30 seconds to discuss how they get themselves towards a map point. Once you get there, a lot of pressure feels like it's released. At least you're guaranteed overtime at that stage. Pressure still firmly applied until you reach that point. But Config, $10,000 for him, 8,000 for AZ as well. And the current scoreline is going to be 6-1 here in the second half after losing that second round force buy from Immortals as well. So very good to actually get themselves in a winnable situation. At least this is actually getting to a more feasible map for them. Okay, we have a technical issue for Magisk as well. I think his keyboard's playing up, so this could be a little bit longer.
Typically, teams do bring spares along with them, so they'll swap that. Unless, and that's presuming it's the keyboard itself. If it's USB hub or something along those lines, it could create a bigger concern, but gives us a moment of reflection. And again, I mentioned it, even if North doesn't pull this back into a comeback, they're getting rolling, they're getting confident, they'll start to get communication down, they'll start to get timings down, shake out the jitters of this first map.
Yeah, still a lot of work to do here. We're just kind of working out whether this is ready to go. Not ready as of yet, but Immortals, if you are just joining us, where have you been? It has been quite an explosive affair so far. They came out of the trap hot with a 13-2 first side on the Terrorists in the first half. It was actually amazing to watch players like Henny. He's currently sitting on 26 frags, one of the best AWP performances I've seen in a very long time. That was actually nuts, the sort of stuff he was performing. Some of those wall bangs as well. 3 or 4 kills, it felt like every single round. As we get ourselves unpaused now, we're ready to go. Round number 23 comes in. In terms of the buy for Immortals, AWP for Henny, AK for Bolts, which was saved in the previous round, and then 3 M4 surrounding. They've got a full array of utility to work with here as well. And North, I would kind of speculate right now, more defaults, try and get that first pick with Cajun B, try and work out those mid-presence going on, then go into the execution. Cash is one of those great hybrid maps where you can just go straight into executions if you want to, but it's quite rare to see that these days. So the bomb will be down towards T-spawn, so spreading it out across the map. 3 players towards B for the CTs for now, and Config can hit some bullets flying past his head there, so he's wary that a CT could be creeping past that smoke.
Oh, intentionally dropped way back towards spawn this time. Config's got to be careful, pushing through. Finds one already near the box. Watch to his left, because it's the counter peek from Steel that becomes the problem. And they managed to get the first kill, immediately fall back. Smart play from Immortals.
That's job done at this point as well. They use that smoke to take away any terrorist towards T-spawn might have an AWP, for example. Molotov towards Sunroom as well. It isolates Config. Not really much he can do about that as well. Still baits out his shots towards that first box, then his teammate backing him up as well. First kill comes in unscathed, and they get that huge 5-on-4 advantage now. It's up to North to try and get it back. They'll be edging their way towards the B side of the map, but in terms of what they've got left, they do have smokes in the AWP, so they just need to try and find the first pick here. Good news is there's only 2 CDs on this side of the map. They're focusing towards A.
And no one inside of mid directly. FNX is still on catwalk, as you mentioned. They're focusing on A, so that's a long rotation. So it's going to have to be very efficient. At least 2 kills for the CTs on this entry, even though there are only 4 remaining. Steel stays in corner, Molotovs land. AZ nails Lucas immediately. Steel goes out. MSL finds that one, so no efficiency to be had, and a man advantage with a bomb down as they retake. But FNX arrives a lot quicker than I would have expected through mid itself. He'll cover off B tunnels. That gives less post-plant posture to the fact that they want to play on an open bomb. It's planted default. You can still peek out from the first doorway to spot it. And he trying to show flashy antics into the doorway. That only gives away the fact he's on heaven, but they know he's going to be pushing in. FNX spots AZ. Not spotted in the fact that he takes down. Flash comes through. AZ doesn't land the shots, and somehow FNX still wins the duel. As it pulls back now, the man advantage for Immortals, and they know exactly where. Oh, look at MSL go! He's got 3! I was going to say they know where Magisk is, but MSL is the one with the tricks up his sleeve.
4 kills in total for MSL, and they lose that first pick. We thought the round was going to be over, but North recover towards that B site. Another contact play going in, and Immortals maybe a little bit too passive there. North got right to the choke point before Immortals could do anything about it. They tried to counter with flashbangs at that point, but the shots have been hit. MSL with a 3-man spray to finish things off as well. Very impressive stuff. They're in touching distance of double figures now as well. We have got a game on our hands, and this is going to be a force buy from Immortals as well. Using that maximum loss bonus, Still opens things up though. The fast boot from Aegis, he gets taken down. 3 M4s and 2 Famishes, no kits. They needed that first pick, and they've got it once again.
There's small indications of a game when a comeback is possible. That's going to get blown out. Config's going to know it. Typically, when you see these comebacks start, you see teams kind of letting off, playing the long game, playing the economy. But when a clutch like that happens, that's not messing around. That's Immortals getting beat outright by North in that case. And now they're going to be struggling to find these 2 rounds if they can't pick up situations like that. So Early trade back and forth, not direct trade, but trade in terms of man disadvantage.
Yeah.
Leaves us 4 aside, and AZ's already made his way into A main as well at lockers. Bolts refuses to peek, and Henny will stay underneath at the forklift.
This is a huge advantage now for North. You can see there's only 2 Famis's remaining, no kits, couple of M4s. The CTs have 2 players on either side of the map. If North just execute towards A here with the AWP as well, they're going to be able to overwhelm the CTs who won't have anything in return. Bolt is trying to jump up, trying to get a bit of information here. Henny might be flashed in, but he'll just be jumping up to the standard little box here. And a config, he finds another frag. That's towards B. He's by himself on that side of the map as well. It's all a ruse, though. He's trying to force rotations towards B. The CTs on A for now aren't having it, but he's done a very, very good job indeed, and they don't have to overcommit. They're waiting to see the CTs. They doubt themselves, and AZ, there it is, opening up that A site.
Spot from Bolts, tries to get more, but they shuffle back and forth. And AZ is able to do the damage. It leaves FNX this time alone, and Config already lurking in through B. He's going to spot him.
Okay.
Reaction from FNX to turn around and take him down. Gives him a chance for escape. Doesn't give him a chance for the retake. No kits. Fancy's looking toward Highway instead.
He fancies it.
Believe there's a kit down inside of the site near quad, so if he finds one kill here and isolates this, there is a real chance for him. He's going, he's committing, but AZ holds it. And now we do hit the double-digit mark at 14-10. For Immortals, it becomes a very, very close game. Or, excuse me. Yes, for Immortals. I thought I had that backwards, Henry.
You're okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a nice little spray down there from MSL, but what a great round for North. Once again, losing that first pick, but Config recovers. He does a great job in that round overall. He stays towards the B side of the map, walks in, finds the first pick, goes back, signifies it's going to be towards the A side of the map, and he goes in towards checkers, finds a kill by himself, applies pressure, comes in for the backstab as well, and Immortals now looking at about another eco here. This could be 14-11. Very quickly indeed, as they hold out, wait for the CT aggression to come in. They'll be focusing towards A for now, and Config, once more, a defensive hold towards Sunroom this time. Won't be looking for frags actively here, waiting for that smoke to go down, and whether a CT may be hunting for information at this point, but no one giving anything away on the north side for now.
So slow the pace again. It has been very slow overall from North, but this time particularly against the Pistols. No stack antics in play from the CT side.
Yeah, very little to work with here. They've got the CZ and Steel once again. That's been a problem for North. He's got head armor as well. Surprising he brings that out considering that's an extra $350, but mid-execution comes in, not making sure they flush out every sector of that map, and it's going to be Henny that goes down first, and you can see how effective those Molotovs are on cash generally. You want to be treating this like a gun round, especially when you're looking down at map points in favor, well, looming from Immortals here. So every kill counts, every sector of the map taken has to be done properly.
FNX waiting with the Deagle, has the chance for a headshot, lines up, tries to bait in. Steel can't do it, damage is dealt. No kill found until now. Good headshot on Cajun. Drops bomb temporarily, which will buy space, but space isn't enough. 4 kills would be for Bolts, as he is the last alive, sees that 75 in armor. And he'll swing, rather than going in through the vent, swing back towards CT at Z Connector. With the armor already up. Grab a gun, look for exits. Same position he played last time, but last time they also exited out through B main.
Just Bolts now. Another efficient round from North overall. See that full default mid-execution, B split. Pretty standard stuff there. Nothing Immortals could do. They find 1 kill. Cajun B goes down, but that's about it. In terms of the money, we're at maximum loss bonus for sure. It's going to be 9-1 in favor of North after this round. Bolts does a little bit of damage there, taking MSN down to 1 HP. Config on 6 as well. Can't find another frag though for his team, and he'll be saving the body armor and the CZ at this point. Just to stay alive and see these spawn, but North really are making this convincing now.
Yeah, this is on. This is game. North are very much in this with a chance. Cajun B goes on to his AWP. Henny will do the same on the CT side. And a full arsenal of utility and nades for the CTs to work with. 3 kits as well. This is the best buy they've had in a while. But investing this much, even with a lost round bonus CT side, don't win this, go on to an eco. We got a 14-13 game potentially on this round, banking on it alone.
Oh, Henny adjusts, he goes towards B this time as well, trying to take down the threat that has been Config. He's got vision towards Sunroom. And apart from that, it's going to be very quiet here on cash for now. Config does make it successfully, undetected. Flashbang comes in, Henny has to fall back towards the back of the B site here. Config just dissecting the B storage area as his teammates set up towards A.
So MSL waits to open the door. It's a very timid, intense pace that's come to the forefront in this second half. And it's Cajun clinically and cleanly that opens up the bomb site. No utility needed. He just walks out, finds bolts. MSL, though, will be limited. Can't get through the doorway to join his team, and his team says, well, all right, we won't go without you. So it backs them off. It lets Lucas get over toward quad, which means they fortify their defense somewhat inside of the site. Does that, therefore, mean that North want to be discouraged entirely and go back elsewhere? Because if they do, this position from FNX is very beneficial. And AZ's boosted. Does he check this? Immortals trying to get back into an even situation. Level up the man disadvantage, finds AZ as well. Second player there, Steel's gonna swing out. Do they spot two? Because he's ready for trades, nails it down, bomb drop, looks for the other, but Config, he reigns supreme, and it's all down to Henny. That would have been bombed down in mid, covered off by Steel, and perhaps finally the round Immortals need. But instead, North still have control of a site, and it should go their way.
Overwhelmed once again. It's North to find that opening pick. Cajun B starting to arrive now through the smoke is here. We didn't quite catch it from his POV, but I assume they boosted up above the smoke, found the kill on towards Bolt. And at that point, back towards middle. Good trades overall from North there, keeping 3 players alive in this situation. Henny desperately trying to hold on to the AWP. He's at the back of the map here. We saw throughout this tournament, Matt, he looked so aggressive on this map with the AWP. He was great in the first half as well, but he's been very quiet and caged so far in the CT half. They're just trying to play the default rounds, close it out, not take any risks here. But at this point, North now, they're looking like the more dominant team. And we get it to this situation where he's trying to sit at the back of the side. Don't think he'll be hunted down for now, so he will be taking that orb into the next round. But North, 14-12. Who would have thought? 10-1 in the second half after getting completely battered in the first half. 13-2. And losing the second round force by as well. They've actually got here.
It's a good point. Deagle play from MSL, and then had the 3-man spray down the post plant at B. It is a very tight situation. Henny saving that one AWP. We know at times it can be enough on this map, and I thought they'd go for more of a save, but because of that gun alone, they are going to force in, so this becomes even more stressful. A force here definitely means a save in the next if they don't save guns to carry over, and in doing so, we could find 14-14 instead of 14-13. So this round hinges essentially the whole game for Immortals.
Certainly does. A tactical pause comes in from Immortals, of course. They're actually starting to feel the pressure right now. They still have the lead for now. 14-12. It is a bye. A difficult one at that. They get 4 and 4s in AWP, but lacking incendiaries and flashbangs. Lucas only come into this round with smoke. They have 1 kit to work with here. I think Henny needs to take this by the horns now. He needs to go for that first frag. He's been quite passive towards B, and he is changing his position. Maybe he goes in the squeaky door. That's where he's so good, and that's where he's been finding frags throughout this tournament as we go into round number 27. A flashbang, presumably, towards a storage. He wants to try and get this first pick for his team.
And he's trying to line this up, but AZ has the first shot. Good re-peek. AZ spotted through the edge of the wall. Molotov's off Cajun as well. That forces him back away. And look at the inside of the smoke. Config, desperate to find an opening, has Lucas and Steel playing a 1-2 punch yet again. They found that kill before, they'll fall back, but this time it's the man advantage for Immortals to work with.
This is what we talked about in the pregame as well. Immortals so good at pincering the map there towards the A storage and B at the same time, finding picks, and now they have the 4-on-3. 1 round away from map point. This is a huge advantage, but Cajun B still alive, and he's hitting a lot of shots here on the T side. Bolts, if he faces towards Highway, even Henny, he could be taken down. There it is. Cajun B finds it, and now it's a 3-on-3.
Bolts has to play from under fork, and he's gonna get pinched off from both sides. Smoke to isolate himself. That does leave him alive, but Cajun got spotting first. And run and gun with the Tech-9 bomb plant to come through for North. It's Majisk that will lay it down, but does he get in position fast enough afterwards? Cajun's found Lucas already, stealing a 1 versus 3. Molotov, Kit, 2 flashes, no smoke for the defuse, and no chance to get that far. MSL hits a headshot.
Even when they get that huge advantage at Immortals, they find picks on either side of the map. Cajun B knows what he has to do. He's waiting for a mistake to be made. He's posted himself towards Highway. He knows they're going to have to check it at some point. Waits for it, finds 2 kills. That's the cue to make their way to the A-bomb side. Pulls out the Tech-9, and he manages to find a second frag as well. MSL to finish things off, and Matt, you called it. If they didn't win that round, it's another eco going in, and that will tie things up at 14-14. Who would have thought this situation was possible? North showing amazing mental resilience here to actually even get it to this level. I didn't even think it was possible. I thought, okay, a few rounds here and there, maybe they'll get themselves warmed up in the second map. MSL, though, finds the first frag. Still with a CZ once again. He will return the favor.
CZ has been a real problem in this game in multiple instances. AZ smoked off and isolated from the 2 CT players. He's got support in the form of Majisk. He find the kills, though. Be weary of the fact as well that Bolts as armor has picked up the AK. How strange is it that in CSGO, we see teams struggle for an entire half, and then somehow they pull it off when they get pistols, but Config says otherwise. He's gonna find a kill, make it potentially now 2 inside of the B side. Good pot flash Lucas stood no chance.
Absolutely, and he's got full control of B now. There's an AK-47 for Bolt still. That CZ once again. There's no chance of winning this round, especially with no kit. Might as well try and save the AK. The CZ, just with the armor, will be beneficial going to that next round. It's going to be 12-1 here. They could actually win this. This is insane scenes, and what a game it's turned out to be. No one thought that this was actually going to be possible for them. But North really have arrived on this C side. They're looking fantastic right now, especially Cajun B. He had a rough start into this first half map as well, getting shut down by Henny, who's been very quiet in the second half. We said Henny has been the pivotal factor for Immortals on the CT side of Cash. He's done really nothing so far. He's tried to make a couple of picks. I think he's made one in total as a refrag towards that A storage area. We haven't seen him have those flashy, kind of flamboyant plays as of yet. He's just holding back towards the back of the B site or getting flashed into one particular position to get a refrag. 14-14. North now balance things up.
And that is so hard on the minds of Immortals.
Indeed.
To be up as far as they were, 14-3,
Yep.
and now be 14-14. This is up there with the worst of them.
Well, North has been on the receiving end of these sort of comebacks before, but now it's them. Actually applying it to the Brazilians, but Henny towards middle finds Cajun B, 5-4 now. Very early on in the round as well. What's the adjustment here from the terrorists? Two players towards B storage as well. Config's been great at finding them, but there's two waiting behind his box. He might kill the first. He won't be expecting the second, but doesn't overextend for now. He's got the kill back in North's favor.
That's the same play they've run to try and take him down in the past, and they've been successful twice. The Config reads it well this time with the smokes already down.
He has the Molotov. Can you imagine if he actually reads this and tries to flush out Lucas? There's no way he knows. If he goes any further, he's almost certainly dead, but for now, showing a great amount of discipline.
And they'll group in mid, bomb included. Magisk has it. FNX and Henny are both inside of the CT middle, though, and that means FNX up close could bait Henny in, who's near sandbags just behind them on the AWP. We see it now staring over top of the drop room. And for whatever reason, North decided not to go that direction. Bolts is going to be playing. They're going to be playing all of them. Bolts especially toward truck. A retake onto the A site with a gun, so it becomes a pressured situation, a fast play, and MSL, he's so close to B. He's trying to fake this, but Lucas is already there. He thinks they're all gonna be here, though. Lucas is gonna try and execute trigger discipline, takes the first shot, now realizes no one's there. He's got the information fast enough, so immediately FNX rushes out from middle. Guaranteed not to be B. They can fake all they like, but FNX will ride behind them. Down goes Magisk. Great information gathered by Lucas, and AZ gets to the site. Bolt is already pressing. He can't plant the bomb. He's got to go aggressive, find the kill, manages to do so. Molotov in default. They have to cover off the flank. Great find from Config, but AZ's low. It's 12 HP. They've come so far to pull it back to a tie, but can they take the lead? Bomb ticking, fast peek, and he doesn't land a shot. And a flash goes in toward Quad instead. AZ's able to dodge it, but gets caught by a pistol. And finally, Immortals pick up the rounds.
Finally, they pick up a round there. It took a bit of a novelty play towards that B side of the map. Two players in that close box and B storage. It actually worked out in the end. Took a lot of patience there, but MSL trying to fake towards the B side of the map. He gets taken down, and like you said, all that information gathered to the CTs. FNX with the backstab as well. They've found at least overtime at this point. Immortals 15, North 14. Plenty of money for both sides going into this final round. But at North, after this amazing comeback, it'd be so gutting to lose it at this point. These sometimes are even worse than going down and losing 16-3 after you've done so much hard work to get yourself in this situation. Round number 30, we've gone the full distance. That's Config back towards the B storage area. 3 players on this side of the map, and Henny, who's been dangerous, trying to see if Config walks into his crosshair once again.
Henny with the op. Waiting to see if they'll get aggressive and try and get near the box to spot inside of the site. Changes his angle now as Config's backed off ever so slightly. It's overtime or it's all done. And if Immortals escape now in the regular rounds, nice shot from Henny. It would be a deep sigh of relief. And we mentioned North building back into this game for the sake of confidence. Sometimes it's worse to come this far back and still lose. It becomes a reverse mental game that falls upon them. Molotov down toward mid, no one playing at the sandbags. Don't be misled by the X-ray steal. He's over behind the box at Checker instead. And that means they get inside of middle, uncontested, but still a man down. They can try and lure them into traps. Sit upon this man advantage and set crossfires inside of sites, including that of Bolts toward the fence and FNX toward the truck position at the A site. So top of highway is achievable.
Yeah, this is actually looking pretty promising. Oh, wow.
That's amazing, though. That takes the crossfire out of it because they can let them up highway, and FNX needs to pull back in. But he only gets the one kill, and that means MSL with bomb gets in from A main instead. He'll plant. A little bit more open than he would have liked, perhaps, but it means they can get aggressive and hunt down FNX, who's still playing at the truck. And rather than going around the corner, Magiska's going to try and play this smart. Sit on the corner, but flashes out. Multiple opponents approaching. Steel gets the kill, and he follows it on MSL. And down goes Cajun. Immortals escape death. It took a while, but they get there. And North now have to recover from this.
What a way to kick off this best of three. Henny there, the first shot towards B storage. Through the box as well, headshot. Funnels them towards A. AZ trying to find a headshot there as well, but unfortunately it will be the 16-14. What a comeback it was from North after losing 13-2. They show a great amount of mental fortitude there, Matt, to even get it to that point, but can't quite close it out.
And it was such a slow-paced game in terms of trying to find the opening picks. And it was back and forth in terms of scoreline, but it was really a tale of two halves. Very T-sided in the end, and now Desk gets to break that down. I'm sure they've got lots to say about it, Alex. It's all you.
That got very close to being disturbing. Immortals, could they really have thrown cash away, and literal cash, if that was going to cost them the series? Chad, Natu, one round away from potential overtime, potential upset, potential... What did you say, Chad, when we were watching it? One of the biggest comebacks in recent history?
Yeah, definitely. That was more than a mountain for those Lions to try and claw their way back up, but they did it. I was saying to Natu in the green room, I was like, they should just, throw this map away now. Yeah. I was like, just don't worry about this one, move on to your pick. You've got blown out of the water a little bit, a slow start, but they clawed their way back into it, definitely. And both teams on their CT side, you need that cheerleader chant, the be aggressive one. That's what everybody in the audience needed to be doing because they were both so stationary, sitting back. You had an early plan going on from the North guys on their CT side to be aggressive towards that B side. But, we didn't see a lot from Henny and stuff until later in that half, and that's what really got them across the line.
What's so absurd to this is after a 13-2 half, they concede the pistol and then win the second round, Natu. They are on 14, 2 rounds into the second half.
And then go on to lose the following round as well, right?
Yeah.
So it is just the name of the game in a game of Counter-Strike sometimes. And then you kind of start playing way too safe. That's what happened to these Brazilian guys because we've known them from their dynamic CT plays. They don't do the pop flashes. They go in. They take things to their own hands. But today, none of that to be seen for most of that. But it's, I mean, how do you even get into that situation? It's mind-blowing.
So the question is, was it the story of good T sides, or was it the story of poor CT sides? How do we investigate that?
Both. Okay. I think it was both. I think, there should have been more aggression on the CT sides from both sides.
Okay.
The T sides, though, they did grind the rounds out correctly, right? They were executing properly onto the bomb sides. They weren't messing around. They were fundamentally sound.
Yeah, and I mean, also, we know North, it's not one of their favorite maps, Cash, is
yes.
it? And Immortals still is the new lineup with FNX coming in and all that stuff. So I guess also a testament that this is not one of the, the best maps. It was kind of a common ground, kind of a map to come into this best of 3.
I want to keep harping on about this aggression, right? We have a clip here on the telestrator that I want to show.
So
on the CT side, there's so many moves that you can make. This is a very structured move right now that we're about to see from North. 3 players here, MSL, Config, and AZ, are all going to push that B main sector, and they want to get control of Sunroom. So if we start playing the clip here, we're going to see that MSL is the man who actually pushes into Sunroom. A deep smoke is thrown for him. So this one here is just to make sure, if it's a rush or they want to pop through, that they're safe at this point. This deep smoke you've just seen get banked off the wall right there on the left it means that MSL can push into Sunroom. And if we pause right here on the overview, I'll quickly explain this. What this means for the terrorists is they know that they had to use at least 2 players to take the aggression over here into Sunroom where MSL is. The Ts at this point have a number of options to choose from. You're going to assume that there's not a lot of mid aggression, which there isn't in this case. So you can either quickly react if you have enough numbers, and the Ts can push out middle and use a couple of Molotovs, take vent, and make it very awkward for these players who have gone aggressive on the B side. You can either, if you have numbers towards B, pop flash through the smoke and go and isolate this player because you assume if you wait maybe 5-10 seconds, they've rotated a player away, which they were doing here, and they have another player. What you don't want to do is head back towards the A site. And if we start rolling the clip, what we're going to see here is they wait out this smoke. I'll just clear this away. They wait out this smoke and actually go back towards A. They have all the information they need here, B, where MSL is. The Ts are going and waiting their time. And this is the thing we're harping on about how crazy Henny can be. In the first half, he was nuts. You should never hit this shot. It's just an unorthodox pick. It's a weird jump shot, able to take Cajun, and opens up the bomb site and gives the round to Immortals. So a fantastic round from North, but with Henny being explosive like he is, they're able to take the round away from North.
Yeah, and that was the situation where we were kind of like, what's North doing? What's going on
Yeah.
here? Cajun taking that secondary peek because he was kind of on an off angle holding A main. He sees something, he takes a bit of a steeper angle, and then he gets picked up by Henny, who goes on to get 3 kills in that round, pretty much sealing it in the back for them. But yeah, I didn't like the way the North approached that aggression towards B, because I don't want to see someone like Config, who was in a lot of that action, to be on a leash like that, because he needs to be the kind of aggressor who's going to be free roaming, let to do the kind of things he wants to do on himself. Someone like Force, for example, is a great example of another player who likes to play that way. And yeah, just weird ways of playing from North.
I'm sure no one is surprised to see Henny with close to 40% first kill on team. His T side in particular, Chad, was where almost all of his kills came from. We were taking a look at it.
I don't have specific entry stats to him, but just to Immortals on that T side, they opened up the round 11 times to the 4 of North, and North were only able to convert 2 of those, right? And then on the flip side, they were able to get 5 openings on their CT half, and North were getting 10. So it was just a battle of the T sides where they were able to use their utility to isolate players and grab those opening kills, and then make the smart decision from there just to grind out the CTs, because your resources get stretched so far that you have to either make a decision to play retake on a bomb site or go for a heavy investment of numbers to take back map territory.
And funnily enough, we always talk about how Cash is such a mid-oriented map. You need to take middle to build rounds. None of that needed to happen from Immortals. They were getting picked from A, from B all the time to make it a 5-on-4, 4-on-3, something that was always going to be in their advantage. And then they slowed things down, let North make the initiative afterwards. And again, they were there to trade, have the numbers, go into the bomb site, and win rounds.
With rounds 1 and with 1 map under the belt of the Brazilians, we are going to be taking a break. Immortals, after what looked to be rather terrifying for every Immortals fan, both here in the Spodek and at home, they stabilize. Picking up Cash, their map pick, we now head over to Overpass, which is the choice of the Danes. We'll be diving into that after the break. But if you want to break down exactly how well Henny was playing, and if you want to check out those ADR stats, etc. for yourself, you can check it out on the Score Esports app. It's available on your smartphone, iOS, and Google Play. You know what you need to do. Go grab that during this quick hiatus, but when we return, the first quarterfinal of IEM 2017 does continue. Will it really be North taking us into a third, or could Immortals cause yet another upset here in Poland and get that semi-final spot? Find out after this.